Commander Tarak observed the human encampment from his cloaked reconnaissance vessel with growing bewilderment. The galactic hegemony had encountered many species in their expansion across the stars, but humans were proving particularly difficult to understand. Their unpredictable tactics had already cost the hegemony 3 battalions in the initial invasion, forcing a retreat to regroup and reconsider their approach. "What are they doing now?" asked Lieutenant Merck, peering at the holographic display. I'm not certain," Tarak admitted, zooming in on a section of the human defense perimeter where dozens of soldiers sat motionless on the ground, legs crossed, hands resting on their knees, eyes closed. "Are they injured? Malfunctioning?" Merck's antennae twitched with confusion. "No, according to our intelligence, this is a practice they call meditation. It appears to be some form of voluntary mental stasis." Merck clicked his mandibles in disbelief. During an active military campaign, why would warriors deliberately make themselves vulnerable? That question bothered Tarak deeply. The humans had proven themselves to be formidable opponents, yet here they were, apparently shutting down their sensory inputs in the midst of war. It made no tactical sense. Captain James Walker opened his eyes, feeling the familiar clarity that came after 30 minutes of deep meditation. Around him, the other members of his Special Tactics unit were also finishing their practice, some with slight smiles on their faces despite the dire circumstances. Lieutenant Anna Miller approached, her rifle slung casually over her shoulder. "Feeling centered, Captain." Walker nodded. "As centered as one can be with alien invaders on our doorstep." He stood and stretched. "The scouts report any movement from the hegemony forces?" "Nothing yet, but our sensors detected some energy fluctuations that might be cloaked vessels. They're probably watching us right now, trying to figure out what we're doing." Walker smiled. "Good. Let them watch. Let them wonder." 3 days later, Tarak was summoned to the command ship. Fleet Admiral Vex, the highest-ranking officer in this sector, had arrived personally to assess the situation. "Your reports are disturbing, Commander," Vex said, his massive frame towering over Tarak. "You claim the humans engage in this meditation multiple times daily?" "Yes, Admiral. Before and after combat operations, sometimes during lulls in battle, even their highest-ranking officers participate." "And you believe this practice contributes to their effectiveness?" Tarak hesitated before responding. I do, Admiral. We've analyzed their performance metrics. Human soldiers who engage in regular meditation demonstrate 23% greater accuracy in combat, 31% improved decision-making under pressure, and significantly enhanced stamina compared to those who don't. Admiral Vex's eyes narrowed. That's impossible. How could deliberate inaction improve combat capability? From what we've gathered from intercepted communications, meditation allows humans to regulate their emotional states. They claim it reduces something called stress and anxiety, which apparently impair their cognitive functions. Emotions as a hindrance? Vex rumbled. Hegemony doctrine has always held that rage and fear are essential motivators for effective warfare. The humans appear to have discovered otherwise, Admiral. Walker received the transmission from command with mixed feelings. Their unit was being directed to infiltrate the hegemony's forward operating base and disable their planetary shield generator. A necessary mission, but extremely dangerous. "Gather the team," he told Miller. "Full meditation protocol before we move out." An hour later, 20 soldiers sat in formation, breathing in unison. Walker guided them through the familiar practice, his voice steady and calm. "Acknowledge your fear, but don't let it control you. Notice your thoughts about the mission, what might happen, but don't become attached to them. They're just thoughts, passing through your awareness like clouds in the sky." He observed his team's faces relaxing, their breathing becoming deeper and more regular. "Remember your training. Remember why we fight. Not from hatred, not from rage, but from love for what we protect. Center yourself in that purpose." The human attack came with such precision and coordination that Tarak could hardly believe the sensor readings. A small team had somehow penetrated the supposedly impenetrable defenses of the forward base, disabled the shield generator, and vanished before a proper response could be mounted. Most disturbing was the surveillance footage. The human operatives moved with an almost supernatural calmness. their actions fluid and economical, no wasted motion, no hesitation, no signs of fear despite the tremendous danger. "We've lost our advantage," Tarak reported to Admiral Vex. "Without the planetary shields, our fleet is vulnerable to their orbital defenses." Vex slammed a massive fist onto the conference table. How? How are they doing this? They're individually weaker than our soldiers. Their technology is less advanced, yet they continue to outmaneuver us. An idea formed in Tarak's mind, one that felt like heresy even to think. "Admiral, I would like permission to try an experiment with a small unit of volunteers." "What experiment?" "I want to teach them to meditate as the humans do." The hegemony's withdrawal came 6 weeks later, much to the surprise of Earth's military leadership. Intelligence reports suggested internal conflict had fractured the alien command structure. Walker watched the ME ships depart from the observation deck of Orbital Station Delta. "Think they'll be back?" Miller asked, standing beside him. Walker shrugged. "Maybe, but something tells me they've got some thinking to do first." Unknown to the humans, aboard the retreating command ship, Commander Tarak sat cross-legged in his quarters, eyes closed, breath steady, leading 24 officers in meditation. The practice had spread rapidly through certain segments of the hegemony forces, causing ideological rifts that ran all the way to the highest levels of leadership. The humans had won this encounter, not through superior firepower or technology, but through a practice that had transformed enemies into students, weapons into tools of understanding. In the vastness of space, a new idea had taken root, spreading through alien minds like a quiet revolution, one breath at a time.